Hi, welcome back to SAP Business Object Processing Framework demo series. In all our previous sessions, we saw how we can model the business object and how we can create the node as a child node, second node, and then how we can model the node elements called properties, setting the property for the node, determination, validation, and action, alternate key, queries, all that we saw it in the all our previous demo sessions. So today we're going to see how we can create the node. So normally in the in our previous session we saw the how we can get the standard node. So here we are going to create another type of node. So what are the other types of node? We will see it. So another type of node, so which is called as a business object representation node. So why that is called as a business object representation node? Let's take an example. So we have a sales order. Okay, so when you create the sales order and the sales order header, you will have a order ID, and then you have a customer number, okay, to be entered. So the customer number will be only a ID will be maintained in the sales order header level, but all the necessary details of the customer master, meaning the address or the communication details, phone number, email, all that stuff will be part of your customer master business object. So you have a second business object which is called as a customer master, where you capture all your customer master information, and when you want to create your sales order, you just use the customer ID from the customer master business object in your sales order business object. So to have the relationship to be established between your sales order header to your customer master, you have to create the business object representation node. That's one of the example. Similarly, you have a second case, item level, where you enter the item material number. So the material number property cannot be captured under the sales order item node. So you will have a separate business object which is called as a um, um, material master as a business object, where you capture all the information, and then you just create the representation node inside your uh, you know sales order item node to have the relationship established. So whenever you want to get the related attribute of or related detail of your product, you can you can use this node to get the details from the material master business object. So for that you have to model a business object representation node in your business object. Let's go and see how we can define this business object representation node and what are the advantages. So let's go and define first. Let's open our our model T code, business object model builder export T code BOBX, and open our business object. Okay, so here we have item details. So when you just change the business object, when you select the node where you want to model, okay, so you right click, create subnode. Okay, we are creating the subnode under the root, and you have standard node, which if you want to model the business represented node, then you will go for the standard node. Then you have something called as a object representation node. That is something called dedicated node. We will see it in the future. So business object representation node. Okay, so for quick uh, understanding of our process, we will have um, a, there is an existing business object which we know it. So we'll use that business object to, so as I said, this is going to be you have a sales order business object and you have customer business object which needs to be related. The same way item node has to be related to our product no, business object. So there should be a separate second business object should be available for that to create this business object representation node in your business object. So SAP has already a lot of defined business objects are available in the system. We're going to just take one of the business object to use it here. So for the just for initial understanding, I'll going with the um, um, one business object which is called as a change history. And you can see this icon has a different way of representation. Let's use the drop down option and you have this scroll bar in the bottom. You can represent it, you can scroll up slowly, and there is something called change document, BOBF change document. So let's type it slash BOBF. Okay, so then you can scroll it slowly here. Alert change document. Okay, this is the, see that this is a law. You can see there is a lot of standard business object is provided by SAP. So we can just use this for a change history. So change history, as you know, CD post and CD HTR is a standard table which is now store our change information of whatever we do the changes. Okay, so we use that as a one of the representation node to get the change history information. So let's select this business object, and then I press enter, and then you select it. So from this business object, these are different nodes are available. You can just go on select this option. So press enter and you can save. So when you press save, so the information, the business object representation node is being created here. So let's expand that, and you can see here also you have something called node element under the root. If we expand that association, you can see there is a association is created here. Okay, so this is the standard so when you model any node, like you model the item details, by default there will be a node will be created, and that will be created with the cardinality composite to parent as association, so which will resolve it by the parent key and the key of the root node. But this one, it's entirely different, because this information change history, it's another business object. In Delhi, the information of another business object needs to be captured. So change history works entirely differently. So there is some set of procedure to be followed. When you, after modeling this representation node, if you press save and do the check and correct, by default this association is available. We'll discuss that how the association works in details. um, So basically, association is to know your relationship between the one node with another node. Okay. So here, root is the node which is our, we consider as a source node, and change history is root is another node where we want to get the relationship. So basically, when you have a sales order an item, so you have a VBLN field is the, between is a key identifier between the VBAK and VBAP table. The same way, there should be a attribute to be stored or captured between these two nodes to resolve the association between these two nodes. That's the way it always works. So in this case, so framework is providing some option to store the information of your root node. Change history, it's a another business object. When you model the change history for your business object, the business object information, your business object information will be captured under the change history business object, and via that information can be resolved. So now it says there are something is missing, association cannot, class is not maintained. Okay, let's close this. To resolve this association, okay, there are many way you can resolve it, but now this is a standard business object. So SAB is providing a standard class. There is something called BOFUCCL change document cross PO, is X called as a cross PO. So just provide this class. Okay, just provide this class which is going to resolve your association. So press save, and now you do the check and correct. So now your BO is consistent, and correct that business object and activate. So what is the usage of this one? So we want to capture the changes of our business object. Whatever the changes we do in the business object needs to be captured under this particular change history BO. That's what the objective. So to ensure that, let's mark few fields. Let's check our data structure of root. Is there any attribute we have it as a change history enabled? So we have a model status. Let's see. Okay, So as you know, here we can now mark the field as relevant for a change history, and I'll mark this status as relevant for a change history. On the further on the data element level, you can just put that as a change history. Save and activate. If you don't have any field which is not marked for a change history, so obviously your changes will not going to be captured under these no standard functionalities. As we know, on the root node we have that information has been updated. Let's check in the item, do we have any information? So we know that material number, it's a field which has the change history. Yes, we good. Back, and do we have unit price net PR? So it's also net PR is also having the change history information, so we are good with that. So whenever we change to this status, material number, and the net PR, so unit price, we should be able to update this information into our table. So our business object is now ready for our ready to capture the change information. So let's see in the next session how we can make sure that whatever the change we are doing it, which has been pushed to the our change history tables, CD, HTR, and CD pause. Thank you.